Good week last week. Mission accomplished with 2 road games, and now a bigger week coming up with 2 home games of great significance. So we're proud of what we've done, but we must move forward and take care of business here in San Diego against a really good, athletic Fresno State team. We found ways to win on the road. It's easy to say, hard to do. Proud of how we've done it, and we're getting better, and that's the key. We can't, for a moment, stand still. We've got to continue to grow who we are and get better. On my right, Skylar Spencer has done that in more than just blocking shots. He's done things that don't show up on the scoreboard, but he's done things when he's gotten to the free throw line. He's making his free throws, and he's making plays that win. And Trey's playing, as all of you have said, like he knows he's good and knows he's going to finish plays, and I like that. So we're identifying a little better who we are as players. We're getting our shots a little more out of framework where everybody knows, yeah, Trey's going to shoot it. Yeah, Skylar's going to get it here. And it's helpful for everybody. So I like where we are, but I will, again, with caution, say we must continue to get better. Any questions? For Sky or Trey, maybe?
To either one of you guys, obviously the early part of the schedule wasn't terribly forgiving. The non-conference games, you played some really good quality competition. How beneficial do you think that is to you right now after having gone through that?
It was just a learning process. You know, we have a bunch of young guys, real good players, and we kind of learned on the fly. And, you know, sometimes you just learn by taking losses, and I think something finally clicked, and we're learning from our mistakes.
What do you think, Trey?
Same thing as Scott said. I mean, having a tough non-conference isn't an excuse. It's something every good team wants. We just happen to come up short on a couple of games, but I think we've learned from that, and it's helping us now.
Do you think, you know, it's easy to say, okay, if we went back and replayed some of those games that you lost in non-conference and won them, wow, what would your record be? But do you think you kind of had to go through that maybe to get to where you are now? Are you the team that you are now because you took some of those losses and changed some things and changed mentalities?
Yeah, I would say so. We have a team that just learns from experience. Like I said, we have a bunch of young guys, so some of them haven't been put in certain games, and they don't understand. And they didn't understand at that time that you have to do a little bit of extra to come out with that win. And so I think those wins it was a curse and a blessing because it just really taught us a lot, and we just learned so much from it.
Trey, do you think you'd be the team you are now if you had maybe taken those losses?
I would agree with exactly what Scott said. I mean, 3 of our main contributors are freshmen with Jeremy, Zylan, and Ben. So with them playing a lot of minutes, they don't know what every game's going to be like in college, where sometimes in high school you know you're going to win this game. When that's not the fact in college, you have to come out and be ready to play every game. So those games for sure helped us be the team we are today.
You know, Fresno State broke your streak against California teams. I know it's something you guys are really proud of. Does that still stick in your mind every time you play them?
A little bit, yeah. You know, you always want some motivation for every game, but I wouldn't say it's our main focus, but it is something, you know, it's a fact that happens, so it's something that's going to stick with us a little bit.
Do you think statistically your defense is where it has been the last couple of years in terms of some of the numbers and indicators? Do you feel like it's that good, or do you feel like it could get even better? Are there some things that you guys still aren't doing?
It could always improve. You know, our coaches have a big focus on defense, obviously, and always reminding us on certain stats like field goal percentage for defending. And it can always improve. You know, I think if we just go out there and we just keep playing hard and not really worried about it, it'll just get better and better.
Trey, you may end up on Marvell Harris, you know, maybe as the primary matchup or when you guys switch.
Mhm.
Tell us about him. What makes him so good? He's preseason player of the year.
He's just like you say, he's just a great scorer. He can shoot the three, he has a good mid-range, and he also knows how to get to the rim. So when a player can play at all three levels, it makes it harder to defend because you have to respect his shot, but also respect his ability to drive. So just the main thing is we try not to make it a one-on-one matchup and make it a 5-on-1 matchup with everyone helping.
Were you on him last year?
I don't think I was, no.
Are you looking forward to maybe getting a shot at least getting some time on him?
Yeah, I mean, it's always good playing against the best player on the other team to be able to guard him and try to do your best to hold him to what he doesn't normally get on a daily basis.
What do you guys think the biggest difference is with Malik these past couple games? I mean, I know you guys know how talented he is. You see it more than we do in practice, but just wondering from each of you.
It's all mental. You know, you guys seen him since he got here. There's no doubt that he has all the talent in the world, all the potential, and it was pretty much all in his head. You know, he's building his confidence game by game, and especially in the last 2 games, real important to us, and came up on some real big pivotal plays at the end. So, you know, I think he's coming into his own, and he's realizing that he is a real good player, and his confidence is coming in. It's helping us tremendously. So hopefully he sticks with it and just keeps improving.
Coach, you mentioned a small comment about maybe it sounded like some extra structure to the offense recently. Is that something for any of you guys, something that is doing differently now than you were doing earlier in the season or in past seasons, adding more structure to the offense there? Or am I misreading that from what you said?
You talking to me?
Well, you mentioned that it sounded like you said there was some extra structure in the offense. Right? Any of you could answer, but is that true? Is that something that's happening now?
I think we've become more self-disciplined. We give our players wiggle room and freedom to be players. But you have to exercise good judgment on options off of our set looks. We're much better at that now. You know, if you go under a screen, we know what to do. If you go over a screen, we know what to do. And shots are created as a result of that. It's not one pass, somebody lowers his head and tries to do something. So I think we've watched tape, as the two of them have said, and seen when we've done it correctly, when we've made good reads, we've looked pretty good. And there's no definitive. You don't always do this. It's like life. It all depends. It all depends. Are you going to make this? It all depends on what the defense does. But there's always a read that will give you an advantage if you do it. And I watched tape both of our Colorado State and Boise games, and in our set plays and even in our early offense, we're so much better with knowing I go here, the ball goes here, good things will happen. And it's just, they said it's a bit of a process, a bit of taking your time, and a bit of believing that, yeah, if we move it a little bit, good things will happen.
Could you break down Fresno State a little bit, Coach? What makes them a hard matchup? You've played some close games in the last few years, but what makes them a tough team to match up against?
You made reference they were the first California team to beat us when they did last year. We had a long win streak, and they did it convincingly. They jumped on us early. We were 20 to 5 behind, or 18. We were way behind early. You look at their team this year, they're athletic from 1 to 5. They can guard you. They can move their feet. I believe they lead the league in steals. So they guard and pressure the next receivers to the point where if you're standing, you're not going to be able to make a pass. They guard you hard. And then offensively, same thing. Marvell Harris is one of the premier players in the country, not just the league. He's a hard guard. And he's like, they give him the kind of freedom we give our players. Make good decisions, but we know you're going to shoot the ball 15 to 20 times a game. Either driving to get to the free throw line, pull up, you're going to shoot the ball. And it's easy to say guard him, it's hard to do because you got other athletes that are moving around. And so this is a team, they have the exact same record we do. They're 12-6. And they're saying if we can come in and do to San Diego State what we did to Vegas, we are right back in the hunt for a conference championship. And I know that that's the mindset that they will come in with. We split with them last year. They beat us up pretty good at their place, and it was a good, tough, hard-fought game at our place.
Coach, I think before the season you mentioned that essentially you had zero experience, limited experience, and a lot of experience. Did you kind of go into this thinking maybe this is going to take a little more patience than typically?
We started 2 first-year players, one true freshman and then Zylan, a redshirt freshman who'd never played a college game. And Trey made reference. Ben Perez is in the 9-man rotation as a true freshman for us. So freshmen, as a rule, are going to have ups and downs. And we've had that a little bit with our guys. Jeremy has been pretty good, but he's a freshman. So you're going to have some growing pains. You have a little more patience, but in some ways you don't have as much patience. If you're out there, you got to play. But we're slowly getting better, and it's not just those 3 guys. It's not. Trey's a lot better than he was when we started the season. He's playing with more swagger and confidence. That's what we want. So it's a process with everybody. I'll end my part with just listening to Skyler here today with me. I say this is a mature, grown-up man who knows how to speak, who knows how to communicate. He's doing the same thing in our locker room. He's doing the same thing on the practice floor. He's been around the block now he's a senior. He knows responsibility, and he is the ultimate, the team. Does not care how many minutes, how many points, but he cares deeply about winning. And that permeates from him to everybody else. And I'm very proud of everybody, but especially our senior group led by Skyler.
Is there anything else for student athletes? Okay. Guys, if you want to get ready for practice, we'll let you get out of here.
Okay, man, thank you.
Coach, you mentioned Marvell Harris. Is it, when you play a guy like that who's that good offensively, because of your defensive scheme and you switch so much, it doesn't seem like you can just stick, okay, we're going to stick this guy on him and try to have him shut him down. I mean, everyone has to be good enough to guard him, right? Because you're going to switch. There are going to be times when everybody on the floor might guard him.
That is correct. It's got to be team defense to stop guys like Harris. And he's going to get his points. We can't give him an inordinate number of wide open 15 to 18 footers, drives to the rim for layups, or drives where we foul him. He shoots a lot of free throws. So we've got to guard him without fouling, and we've got to make it what is our thought defensively, hard, tough twos. Make him take tough twos. And he's going to make some tough twos because he's very, very good. He's a challenge for everybody.
And last thing for me, how do you guard against, and I don't know if letdown is the right word, but you played on Saturday night, very emotional game. This is a very quick turnaround. It's not on a Wednesday, it's on a Tuesday. You have to fly home, and the human nature would be, okay, we're 5-0, and now you're playing a team that has given you some trouble last year. How do you guard against that?
We talk about the elephant in the room. We talk about it. I'm concerned about it too. I'm concerned about it. we came back on the same plane that you were on, and we went right to the arena, and we were there for 3 hours, but we were doing 2 hours of watching film and eating. We brought food in. But I'm concerned. Your point, it's who we are. You take a deep breath, mission accomplished. Now we're back home, friendly confines. If you stay on edge, it's a plus for you. And we have to preach to that. And we have to be very alert and vigilant ourselves as coaches to say, if we think somebody's not pulling their weight, to get them out and get somebody else in. That usually helps out of the gate. Hopefully that won't be necessary. We're going to have a hard practice. It won't be long today, but we're going to be demanding on what we do in our day before the game practice, because this is a huge game for us. We're playing at home. We need to protect home floor. We've lost 3 times at home, and we can't have anything other than a determination and a respect for ourselves to say we have to get better. So that'll be the challenge.
Coach, you talked about the process of coming together on offense, on defense. You mentioned you have a 9-man rotation, 9 guys playing at least 12 minutes a game. Does the amount of guys you have playing, does that make that process take longer in some ways, trying to get everybody on the same page, how deep you are?
No, I don't think so. We practice long and hard every day, and you get opportunities in practice, and we preach make your practice feel like games. So sometimes it comes quicker than others, and I don't know that losing 3 games that we in our own mind say, well, how did we lose those games, or you did. I don't know if that helped, how much that helped us. I don't know. I do believe that our Kansas loss, we played better against a really good team. And I think for me, the Kansas game was more significant than those other 3 losses. If we had won those other 3 games and lost to Kansas, I think we would be in the same position we're in right now in terms of a mindset and progress. We're fighting uphill a little bit. We're 12-6. So we need to, there's more pressure to win, but it's a good kind of pressure.
How do you feel about your feel for the rotation right now and getting combinations of guys out there, who's working well with each other? How do you feel about where that is right now?
It's ever changing. If you want to play well. If you want to play longer, play better. If you want to be at the end, play good basketball. All those things will get you on the floor. I don't play favorites. I play the guys that I think, we as the staff think will help us win. And you've seen the last couple games, Malik has had more playing time, and he's played at the end. Why? It's not because we're afraid he's going to go pro. It's because he's playing better. So that will get you opportunity. And they know that. They know that specifically. And nobody likes to be taken out of a game. I don't care who you are. But you accept it, you cheer for the other guys, and when you get in, you say, I'm gonna play better so I can play longer.